Hello, growers. Say goodbye to heavy sandbags and hello to Modern Growers Quick Hoops Low Tunnels. Protect your plants from pests, wind, rain, and frost without the hassle of sandbags or flimsy hoops. Our patented design eliminates the need for clamps and ropes, while the unique wire system keeps covers secure yet easily accessible. Tested in the strong winds of New Zealand for over 20 years, Quick Hoops are light, strong, portable, and versatile. Most importantly, they're designed for field use. These aren't some lightweight system that only looks great in a greenhouse. Our hoops are designed to last in harsh field conditions. Use them with any covering to grow year-round and safeguard your crops. Shade cloth, frost blanket, insect net, clear poly, no problem. Quick Hoops can handle them. Get Quick Hoops today at shop.moderngrower.co and protect your crops for years to come. How much do you think you need to start up a farm cash-wise for stuff? Let's say the land, you've already sorted out the land piece, new farm stuff. You work for Johnny's, how much all this stuff costs. You have the experience.
And that's the thing is just like I don't know. I don't even know how to answer that because it's all about just like I don't know, like a minimum viable product. And then you can just keep going from there, even if you just start with a quarter acre and you're laying drip tape on the surface and you're doing everything by hand. But if you're netting enough or making enough to then reinvest that in a tool that makes you a little bit more efficient, and then you just keep reinvesting. I will not even attempt to answer this question because I think it is incredibly dependent on, what your resources are in terms of your land, your markets, it's your climate. I just wouldn't even know.
I mean, would you prefer to bootstrap it and go like you're saying, hey, I can get this amount of land, I'll just make it work with whatever? Or would you prefer to go in, like postpone or maybe work at a few farms, save up the money and go in with a bigger nest egg to start maybe with more? I think it's an interesting thought exercise because more can be a blessing and a curse. It can give you an immense amount of tools to leverage your time and energy, but it can also mean like you buy a bunch of stuff you don't need. And there's a lot
And
of
so I think more is more. Of course, I want more. It makes it easier, but that you hit the nail on the head right there. You really have to know what you really need, and you really have to know what your system is, because otherwise you're going to buy the wrong stuff. And there have been
right.
many instances of like that. For example, I really wanted to make flame. I don't use any black plastic mulch on my farm, so I really wanted to get into flame weeding. And before I bought the whole Farmer's Friend flame weeding rig, I was like, I want to test that this works for my system. And so I had an old backpacking backpack, and I ordered like a really small propane tank that could fit in the back of it. And I just got one of those like wands from Harbor Freight, and the whole thing was less than $60. And so then that's what I did my first season is I just put the propane tank in the backpack. I had my wand, and I was like, does this work? If I if I flame weed all these beds, does this help with weed suppression? Is this good for me? Does this work in my direct seed? It was amazing. It worked so well. I was like, this works for me. Great. And so then I went ahead and bought the whole Farmer's Friend flame weeding rig. An opposite example of that was I was really convinced that I was going to tine weed, and that was going to be a really big part of what I did. And I bought a full tractor mounted Lely tine weeder. And I wish I wouldn't have, because I've never I use it sometimes, but it doesn't work the way I want it to. I always feel like I'm killing too many plants. They just get ripped out of the ground. And so I keep tinkering with it, but it's never fully become part of my cropping system in the way that I really wanted it to. And so I think that's a good bad example of I bought a tool before I had really tested that was the system that I was going to be working in. So I think that's important. You have to have enough experience to know the best place to put those resources. Yeah.
100% agree. Yeah. Like we spend a lot of time talking people out of buying stuff because
Which is a horrible place to be in as agricultural goods.
yeah, and you get people that are just overzealous, like they think they need it, or because ABC Farm uses it, that they have to have it, and it's you require like you're going into the army, right? Show up with these things. Boom, we stamp your card, and hey, now you're a farmer. You got all the stuff. And I think it is. You got to have the experience to know. I love the idea of the flame weeder thing of just make it work with something to test the principle first and then get a better tool as needed. Hello, growers. If you enjoy podcasts like this one, tune into my podcast In Search of Soil on YouTube for a deep dive into the mysteries beneath our feet. Join me as I explore topics such as mycorrhizal fungi, mushrooms, compost, biochar, and more. It's a soil nerd's dream. We're going deep. We're talking to scientists about all things soil related. Whether you're a seasoned farmer or a gardener just starting out, our podcast has something for everyone. Listen in and grow with us. Check out In Search of Soil on YouTube.